Okay, now let's dig into Kali Linux usage and explore some basic Linux command. Now from here, open the terminal. Okay, now from here, if I go to the file preferences, go to the color scheme here, you can change it to something else as you want. Actually, I prefer green on black. Now, not to sound like hacker, to be honest, but actually it's better for my eyes. So if I click here, yeah, you can see that now it is better. All right. Actually, let's increase the font size. Control Shift the plus sign. Okay, so yeah, I think this is better. Let's increase this and this. All right. Now the first command, it will be ls. Ls, it is the command used for listing the files. So as you can see, ls, and here all the files or directories I have on the current path. Okay, so ls to list commands. So ls to list files. Okay, now we have clear. So you can see that if I type enter, and as you can see, now you can see that the screen is becoming chaotic. So to clear the screen, we will put the clear command. Clear, as simple as that. Okay, so we learned ls and clear. Okay, now what if I want to learn more about specific command? So for example, the ls command, I want to read more about it, about its option, about its features, whatever. So we will use the man command. The man command is used for manual. Okay, so man ls. Okay, it will show us what is the ls command will do. So list directory contents. As you can see, ls, this is the syntax or synopsis. ls option, whatever options, then the file, whatever file. So you can see that we have a lot of descriptions, -a, all, author, p, c, f, whatever. You can read more about it, as you can see from here. Now to quit from this, you can see that press H for help or Q for quit. So let's quit. All right. So man clear. As you can see, clear the terminal screen. And it has a lot of options. -t, type, v, x, whatever. Okay. Q to quit. Now man. So this is to show the manual for the manual page. Okay, so this is man. This is an interface to the system references manuals. Okay, so you can see that it has -k capital, -f, l, w options. All right, cool. So far, so good. Okay, now if I type ls, you can see that I am here currently. I want to know where I am currently. So if I type pwd, which is print working directory, it will show us that I am inside the home/Kali. Okay, so if I type man pwd, here you can see that it will print the name of the current working directory. Okay, so print working directory or the current directory, and it has a lot of options like -l, -p, whatever. You can read more about it. Okay, now let's clear the screen again. And now if I type ls, you can see that I am here inside the home Kali when I typed pwd. Okay, the Kali home directory. Now I want to go to the desktop, okay, where it is here. Okay, how to do such a thing? I will use the cd command. Man cd again. You can see that some of the commands are not or don't have manual. So like the cd, because it's a simple command, so it has not. So cd, then the name of the directory. Okay, so if I type ls, I want to go to the desktop. Okay, but remember in Linux this is a case sensitive. So cd desktop, the d must be capital. Now you can notice that if I type desktop, I can press the tab button. So if I press it, it will auto-complete the sentence or the name of the folder or directory. In Linux we called it directory, not folder. In Windows we called it folder. Okay, so cd desktop. Now you can see that, yeah, from here, from tilde mark, it changed to the desktop. By the way, the tilde mark here means it is the home directory of the current user, which is in our case, it is the Kali user. Okay, no worries. We will talk about this in details later on. But for now, follow me. Okay, now if I want to go back, I will go cd ... Okay, now ... means the parent directory. Again, we will talk about this later on. No worries. Okay, so here we will go back to the parent directory of the desktop. and the parent directory of the desktop is the home directory of Kali Linux user. Okay, now here, what if I want to make a new directory? I will use the command mkdir or make directory. So man make dir, you can see this is to make directory, and we have other options as you can see here. So make dir, and let's name it test, and press ls. You can see here it is test. So cd to test. You can see now we are inside the test directory. Okay, so far so good. Now you may ask me, this directory is empty. How did we go to the dot or to the dot? There is other thing called dot, which is the current directory. How did we go there? It is not even exist. No, actually it is exist, but it is hidden. So if I type ls-a, okay, this will show all the directory. So how did I know that? Just open the manual page and press don't ignore entries start with dot. As you can see, because the dot here in Linux, it will be considered a hidden directories, okay, or hidden files. So when I type ls, it will not be shown, but ls-a, it will show everything, which is dot and dot dot. The dot here, one single dot, which is the current directory, which is the test directory. Now you may ask me, but what is the use for this? This has no meaning. No, we will talk about it later on, no worries. And the dot dot, which means the parent directory of the current directory, which is the parent directory of test, which is in our case the tilde. And we already mentioned that this means the home directory of the current user, which is Kali user, which is the Kali home page. So cd dot dot, it will go to the parent directory, and you can see we returned back. All right, so far so good. Now let's clear the screen. Now also there is other options like -p, which means create a parent directory. So for example, I have test here, right? So what if I want to create test2, as you can see, and inside it I want to create test3 like this? This will not work because test2 is not exist in the first place. So for that case, I will put -p, which is parent, and this will create test2. As you can see, if I type ls test2 directory, it will show us the content, or the content of test2, which is test3, the folder we have created. Now let's talk about another command, which is the wish command. This is to search through the directories that are defined in the path environment. So if I type echo, this is a command used to print a text. So if I type echo hi, it will print hi, as you can see in double quotation. If I type echo hi, also it will print it. But if I type echo shift hi, now you can see that the shift 4 or the $sign means that this is a variable in Linux, and this variable is not assigned. But we have environment variables called the path. Okay, so if I type it, it will see, you can see that this variable contains a listing of directories that Kali search when a command is issued without its path. By the way, this is not in Kali Linux only. This is used with Debian or Linux generally. Okay, so Debian based or Red Hat based or whatever Linux distribution. Okay, well, some of them doesn't use this or have a special meaning, whatever. Okay, but I'm talking about the popular distribution. Anyway, so if I type ls here, you can see this is a command, by the way. By the way, this is a utility that exists on the system that should be inside here. So if I type echo path, it should be either here, user local bin, or user local bin, or user bin, or whatever. Okay, so it must be inside one of these directories. So if I type which, by the way, man which, we learned that, which locate a command. As you can see, it will locate a command where it is. So which ls, as you can see, ls is aliased to ls-color, or which cd. You can see that these are built-in commands. So let's look about another command. So for example, which Python. Python is a command, and you can see it is inside the user bin Python. Here where it is located. So I'm using which command. Okay. By the way, the cd and ls, these are a built-in command, so most likely they are not existed anywhere, or they are existed actually, but we will talk about these later on, no worries. Now we have another command called locate, man locate, like this. This is to find files by name quickly. Okay. So as you can see, in which turn read the database made by update db. So for example, locate Python, you can see it will start looking for all or anything called Python, as you can see. Now this list to be updated, we must use this command, update db. Okay, like this. So press it, you can see permission denied. For that case, because after all I'm updating the whole system, or I'm updating the database from the whole system, so I must use the sudo command. No worries, we will talk about this later on. The sudo command, by the way, if I type man sudo, this is to execute a command as another user. So sudo update db, and here it will ask for password, of course, which is carry 1 2 3 4 5 6. By the way, this is a stupid password, but anyway, this is just for the sake of this course. Now we updated the database, so locate again Python, and sorry, I mistake this. I have a mistake. Yeah, it will show us the same results, by the way. Okay. Now finally we have another command. I know we took a lot of time, but these are just the basics. No worries. We will have what we learned practically, step by step, and we will repeat it over and over, so you will get used to it and you will master it in no time, trust me. Now finally we have the find command. So man find, this is to search for file in directory or hierarchical. So for example, find slash, this is where we want to search, dash name, and the name it will be Python, for example. But you can see that it will start showing us permission denied, permission denied. All right, so we learned that, we already learned what we do, what should we do, which is using the sudo. And as you can see, it will show us that it found some, but here we got permission denied for this for some reason. For now, we will not handle it because this is a low level. We will talk about it later on. Okay, so we found what we want. All right, cool. So far, so good. Now, I will provide you with exercises on what we have learned here in this lecture, so you will practice with me. Okay, now I recommend you to do the exercises because it will be very useful for you. As they say, practice makes perfect.